Jr. in the number 6 car with also with 293 points and 37 points back. 5th place is Reagan Smith in the 7 car, 287 points and 43 points back. 6th place, Brian Scott in the number 2 car, 286 points, 44 points back. 7th place is Elliott Sadler in the number 1 car, 282 points, 48 points back. 8th place is Ryan Reed in the 16 car, 255 points, 75 points back. 9th place, Daniel Suarez in the 18 car, 254 points, 76 points back. And then Brendan Gowen, he's in 10th place with the 62 car, 249 points, 81 points back. 11th to 15th place in order. Jeremy Clements with 233, David Starr with 229, JJ Yelly 214, Ross Chastain 211, and Landon Castle 196. 16th through 20th place in order. Dakota Armstrong with 194 points, Ryan Sage with 180, Blake Koch with 174, Cale Connolly with 166, and Brendan Poole with 165. 21st to 25th place in order. Joey Gase with 159, Eric McClure 153, Mike Bliss 141, Harrison Rose with 130, and Jeffrey Earnhardt with 118. Manufacturer standing for the Sprint Xfinity. Manufacturer standing as follows. First place is Ford at 401 points. Second place, Chevrolet with 392 points, 9 points back. Third place is Toyota with 380, 21 points back. And then fourth place is Dodge, 112 points, 289 points back. And that brings us to Camping World Truck Series top 10 as follows. And this list, of course, has been updated with last week's racing. First place, Matt Crafton in the 88 truck with 175 points, current leader. Second place is Tyler Reddick in the 19 truck, 158 points and 17 points back. Third place, Eric Jones in the 4 truck, 157 points, 18 points back. Fourth place is Johnny Sauter in the 98 truck, 22 points back. Fifth place is Cameron Haley in the 13 truck, 123 points, with 52 points back. Sixth place, John West Townley in the 05 truck, 122 points, 53 points back. Seventh place, Timothy Peters in the 17 truck, 121 points, 54 points back. Eighth place, Justin Boston in the 54 truck, 114 points and 61 points back. Ninth place is Ray Black Jr. in the 07 truck, 112 points and 63 points back. 10th place, Spencer Gallagher in the 23 truck, 111 points, 64 points back. 11th to 15th place in order. Daniel Hamrick with 109 points, Ben Kennedy at 101, James Boucher 100, Corbin Forrester with 99, and Tyler Young with 99. 16th through 20th place in order. Jennifer Jo Cobb with 89 points. Norm Bennings with 79. Matt Tift with 75. Matt Mingus, 74. Brian Sealis, 73. 21st to 25th place in order. Justin Theriot with 61 points. Travis Cavapo with 60. Joe Nemechek with 58. Callum Holman with 50. And Wendell Chaviot with 48. Manufacturer standings for the Camping World Truck Series as follows. First place is now. Last week Ford was in first place, but now Toyota took over the first place spot with 180 points. Second place Ford, 167 points, 13 points back. Third place is Chevrolet with 163 points, 17 points back. And fourth place is Ram with 0 points, 180 points back. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break. And then, when we get back, we'll go over the final stretch segment here. Racing Podcast continues. Welcome back, everybody, to racing podcast. Good stuff. So, in some racing news over this past week, as mentioned, Kyle Busch. Oh, first off, Kyle Busch, okay, is coming back this weekend coming up. Okay, and yes, Kyle Busch returns to the 18 car this weekend's All-Star race. So that's the big news. And interesting story. But first we'll talk about Kyle Busch. Not only is he coming back, but Kyle Busch has also been granted chase waivers by NASCAR. Kyle Busch needs to win and get into the top 30 in points to make the Chase Source NASCAR app, or the playoffs as they call it. But he has to win and get into the top 30 in driver points. Currently under the Chase format, drivers and owners must start all points events of current season in order to be Chase eligible, unless authorized otherwise by NASCAR. Kyle Busch must win again, so the remaining 15 regular season races, and again get into the top 30. So 15 regular races that we have left, and I don't have the schedule on me. Yes, and September 12th is actually the last regular season race, which is September 12th at Richmond, and then the first Chase race is September 20th at Chicago. So there you go. Now, Front Row Motorsports and Brett Moffitt has been named primary driver of the 34 car for the remainder of the 2015 season. In the Sprint Cup Series, Brett Moffitt has been filling in for other drivers for Front Row Motorsports and Michael Waltrip Racing, filling in for Kyle Busch and Brian Vickers. Of course, Brian Vickers has been out because he has the blood clot issue. And there's that commercial with Arnold Palmer. Have you seen that commercial? So Brett Moffitt. So in 9 Sprint Cup starts, Brett Moffitt's best finish was at Atlanta, finishing 8th behind the wheel of the 55 car for Michael Waltrip Racing, and also finished in the top 20 at Bristol, finishing 17th, also in the 55 car. Now, Brett Moffitt took over in the 34 car last weekend at Kansas after the announcement was made regarding David Ragan taking over the 55 at Kansas. Brett Moffitt also has 16 career Premier Series starts with 1 top 10 finish. Now, Eric Jones was behind the wheel of the 18 car last weekend. Okay, SpongeBob SquarePants 400. Eric Jones finished in 40th on Saturday. David Ragan finished 33rd, and Brett Moffitt finished in 34th. So, there you go. And, so, what about moving the Saturday night races to Sunday afternoon? Okay, now, Clay Campbell, president of Martinsville Speedway. Now, Clay Campbell also oversees Richmond International Raceway as well, and Darlington Raceway for the International Raceway Corporation. And he says, quote, "I'm not going to say seriously, but we're exploring it." So they want to move the Saturday night races to Sunday afternoon. And it has something to do with the TV ratings, all right? But Clay Campbell continues by saying, quote, "We're always entertaining whatever can make our events better for the broadcasters, for the fans, and for the competitors. That's part of it," end quote. And he made this statement to NBC Sports. Kevin Harvick pointed out that Saturday night races need to be moved to Sunday afternoons, and the reasoning, TV ratings. Now, for a comparison, the race at Richmond, which was originally scheduled for Saturday evening on April 25th, okay, and that race postponed to Sunday, April 26th due to rain. Now, Fox ratings for the Sunday race was a 3.3. Now, they compared compared that to the Saturday night race at Texas, which was the Duck Commander 500, which drew in a 2.9. Source: NASCARTalk.NBCSports.com. So, as mentioned earlier, that Matt Crafton wins the Toyota Tundra 250, and Matt Crafton becomes the first two-time NASCAR Camping World Truck Series winner at Kansas. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's do it one more time, go over this the racing schedule for the weekend, and it's a wrap. Again, the Racing Podcast, Spreaker.com, #sports, live broadcast recording, Thursday evenings, and then apodradio.com, where you can catch it on demand. You can also catch it on demand on Spreaker.com. If you go to Spreaker.com, you got to use #sports. If you use just sports without the hashtag, you can't find the Racing Podcast. I don't know why. It's outside of my control. But #sports, and just look for the RP banner, and that's the Racing Podcast. So, let's get to it one more time. RP fans, the Racing Podcast presents this week's racing schedule. Friday evening, May 15th at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and MRN. It's the Sprint Showdown with 40 laps scheduled. And then also on Friday evening, after the Sprint Showdown, it's this weekend's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event. Friday, May 15th at 8:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and MRN. It's the NC Education Lottery 200 with 134 laps scheduled. Both those races from Charlotte. Then Saturday evening, May 16th at 7 p.m. It's the All-Star Race. 7 p.m. Saturday evening, May 16th on Fox Sports 1 and MRN. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race with 110 laps scheduled, also from Charlotte. Then Sunday is the Xfinity Series event. Sunday, May 17th at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and MRN. It's the 3M250 with 250 laps scheduled. And then Saturday at 4:30 on NBC, which would, so basically, you can watch the horse race and then just switch over to Fox Sports 1 and watch the All-Star race. So, Saturday, starting at 4:30 p.m. on NBC, it's the Preakness. Post time is 6:05. TV coverage starting at 6:30. And of course, from Pinnacle Racecourse in Baltimore, MD. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is officially a wrap. From the American Podcasting Center in New York, thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Manny Allegretta. Be good and be safe. This has been the Racing Podcast.